What's up, mi gente linda? It's your girl Eliana here, and I'm so excited to present to you this very special collaboration between the New York Latino Film Festival and LATV in support of the highly anticipated DC film Blue Beetle. So today I'll be talking to none other than the director himself of Blue Beetle, Manuel Soto. Ángel!
¿Cómo estás? I'm doing good. How are you?
Bien, aquí estamos. Listen, it's such an honor to talk to you. I'm so excited for you, for this film. Yo la vi, and I'm just like, I need to go see it multiple times because it's such a rich film. But I wanted to ask you, o sea, you're the director of the first Latino superhero film with an all-Latino cast and a Latino writer and filmed in Latino spaces. So how are you feeling right now? Cuéntame.
It is definitely a privilege and the opportunity that I don't take lightly. I understand, how much that means to a lot of us. And the reason why I know that is because it means a lot to me. Like it meant so much to me, not just to finally be able to film a movie in Latino spaces, to bring a movie to Puerto Rico, film it with the people that I grew up with that helped me to help inject back into the economy and shooting landmarks like El Morro, Castillo San Cristobal, places that I've always wanted to film since I was little. But also because I never grew up watching my people, myself represented in this way. We always grew up, either our backdrops were always shown in a bad light, where only bad things happen, and those communities, only bad people come out. And if there's a good person, he's always going to be a sidekick. And that whole idea, my dad was never a fan of comics because the comics were always about having somebody else come to save you because you are not good. Or if you have this hero, he's always going to our communities to lock us up or to beat us up. And it was always, you are from Puerto Rico, I'm from Puerto Rico. We come from a colonial background, and really Captain America is going to save me, really? So it was like, when are we ever going to have a chance to not just show ourselves in a positive light, but also show ourselves as a way that we can be heroes of our own stories, that we can be the heroes that our community needs, that our family needs, and that also that we're not alone. We have a group of love support that comes from our family and from the people in our neighborhoods that are going to be the power that makes us heroes in our own communities. For me, it was very important. I took it to heart because I have 5 nieces and nephews, and I have a bunch of kids that now are gonna grow up knowing that there's somebody that looks like them that can be a hero.
And it's a possibility. I think after watching the film, honestly, I was very emotional watching it because it was nostalgic, but also I could feel those cultural nuances that you injected into the film. And I think right now, culture representation is very important. And obviously with Latinos, we're a complicated group, right? Because we're not a monolith. But you did a phenomenal job in capturing these cultural nuances and these cultural moments that were specific enough so that we can identify with them, but they're universal enough so that any family of any demographic can relate to them. So tell me a little bit about that thought process of like, no, I'm gonna make this intentional decision.
One of the things I felt like maybe what it worked is that it is a story centered on a Mexican family. It is a story written by a Mexican who was able to write about what he knows. It was performed by Mexicans who have lived experiences similar to those, and they can actually bring their own experiences into the character, things that might not have been on the script. They are actually adding to it. We have a costume designer, Mayes Rubio, who is from Guadalajara, who is from the culture. And then you have me, a Puerto Rican that might not be Mexican, but we all grew up consuming Mexican content. Me being from Puerto Rico and the writer being from Querétaro, we both saw that there's way more things that we have in common that we don't. So let's hone into the specificities that makes us special Because at the end of the day, within our specificity, we can find the universality of things. Because it's a specificity allows us to find connected points in culture. So, for example, one of the things that we were talking about was like, who was your first superhero? El Chapulín Colorado.
El Chapulín Colorado.
Telenovelas, like, tell me that you didn't walk into your grandma's house and you couldn't stop listening to María del Barrio.
Exactly.
Like, and that's just to mention a few, like, you had a cough, they just slapped you with Vicks Vapor Rub. Like, we all grew up with all these cultural specificities and the way we have that, just the nuances make it specific, but by finding those connected points where our cultures intersect, I think we're able to destroy those boundaries, destroy those borders that are fictional, because the lineage, the blood memory of all Latin America is connected by the same idea. Being able to celebrate the specificity, it only brings us together, and then you're like,
and you're like, we have way more in common than we think.
That's right. And I think that is why, you know, by embracing it and making fun of it when we want to make fun of it, creates an honest and authentic experience that allows us to see past the boundaries of countries and flags and unite as one, you know.
That's probably the most beautiful part about this film. Not only, you know, is it DC, it's in a DC, you can tell it's a DC universe. There's little Easter eggs in there everywhere, but also it's culturally rich, it's family rich, it's universal themes rich. And so I just really think that every person, Latino or not, really just needs to go and experience this in the theaters, because 100%. It really is a treat of a film. And one last thing, Angel, you know, as a director, un Puertorriqueño, someone who's come up, you know, just like from the ground up, what do you want to leave aspiring directors and filmmakers with? You
know, the cliches are right. You know, be patient and persevere and work hard, because it's not easy. It took me 21 years to be here today. For me, it's literally like, if this is your passion, if this is something that you're willing to sacrifice a lot, if this is something that you're willing to lose yourself and drive you crazy, pursue it. Pursue it, because if you surround yourself with people that love you and want to see you succeed, you're gonna make it through. And at the end of the day, always stay curious. I think I was always curious, and I'm still curious. And curiosity for me is the driving force for knowledge and to keep learning and never stop learning. And that only inspires me to do more of what I do. Just keep learning and being curious and finding new and creative ways of telling stories. Everything is possible. I am a living testimony of it. It is possible.
Bueno, Ángel, felicidades en tus logros.
Gracias.
Honestly, te botaste. Like, we love it. Everybody check out Blue Beetle on the 18th of August in theaters. See it once, see it twice, see it 3 times. Let's all come together.
Toda su familia.
Bring everybody, all right? This is our first Latino superhero.
The oldest grandparent, they're gonna see themselves.
Yes, bring everybody. Bueno, Ángel, un placer. Y felicidades y suerte con todo.
Gracias.